Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with Darthmod, playing as Poland-Lithuania. And as you remember last time, or hopefully you watched the last video, then you know we've got one bloody big battle ahead of us, where there's almost 20,000 enemies on the other side, as the Austrians intercepted us on our way to attack their position. We have dug in and hopefully we'll be able to hold out against the Austrians. We do have support and we do have quite a few thousand men ourselves. The enemy only really outnumbers us about 5,000 men, but who knows? We've only fought the Austrians in really one battle before, and then we outnumber them quite a lot. So just go over in the defense. I've devised the line infantry into brigades of 3 in the defense, and interspersed in between them we've got cannons ready to fire canister across the open field. I really like the field. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that it's foggy. I would have liked if it was clear day. And then I've kind of turned it off here rather than go for a full line, just so I have open ground for my winged hussar, my massed cavalry charge to go out, or what I might do is send them up in kind of cavalry brigades of 3. So I see I need to clean the enemy off. Could be useful to send just one in instead of, I mean, sending all of them out would be massive and super cool, but they'll get tired and then they'll get bogged down and they'll die. So it might be better to send 3 at a time, just to kind of hammer an anvil strike on the front here. For the second defensive line, if they would break through the first one, and also supporting the first one, we've got the line infantry guard standing behind. Hopefully they should be able to shoot over. I'm not entirely sure they will. And then further back we've got the Grenadier Guards, which are stationed back here. And back here we've got their howitzers. And where is my general? He's stationed right here, ready to overview the battle. And with that said, let's go ahead and start. Right. So the Austrians don't really concentrate. Last one they concentrate kind of in the center. Now they're concentrating towards the flank, where I can see cavalry concentrations. I don't like the one on this side because it's kind of close to my cavalry, and I don't want to. I preferably be waiting to send them in until kind of the last minute, not this early when we've got 17,000 enemies to defeat. Quite a lot of Austrians. We started off counter bombarding the enemy's howitzers. I'm firing explosive shots. Should be pretty deadly against them. Their cannons usually target my cavalry, and yes, they go ahead and do the same this time around, and take about 15 winged hussars with them. Oh, that is an artillery piece down there. And they moved. Oh, it's gonna shoot my cavalry. Right. I was hoping I could wait sending these guys in, but we'll send in the first brigade of these, just to kind of clean out this bit. Getting hit by cannon shots as they move forward over the open field. I mean, there's nothing for it, because otherwise just standing there and getting shot to death is not that useful. So this one will charge straight for that, and then I think the other two will go ahead and stop the cavalry coming in on the side there. These guys will of course go through the cannon and then hit the Pardurs in the back. The enemy provincial cavalry is countercharging and kind of stopping the 5th Horse Guard from charging in, but they're being flank charged at the same time. You know what? don't stop, go on, because those carbineers will destroy you. Watch out for the spikes, and yeah, continue that charge. I might have been able to solve this just by redirecting the shot of the howitzers. They have a howitzer here as well. Don't really like the fact that we're riding onto these spikes, causing unnecessary casualties in among my cavalry. Ooh, I think they actually shot more of their own there. But they definitely broke up kind of the formation. It's not that bad losses on the winged hussars as of yet. But at the same time I can see that the enemy is now sending forwards infantry attacks. So they're sending forward with the Pardurs, which, as we figured out in not the last one, but a further one where we actually used them against the Russians, that they are Croats and Serbs. Huge militia unit moving forward. I think we'll start off by actually telling second line to hold fire, just in case that they'll inflict massive damage on the front line. So my hussars have definitely cut down the enemy. They dragoons dismounted. We should be able to get through these. That dragoon unit is already kind of wavering. So I think if I just push through, they will completely waver. And I want to really get at that cannon. There we go, they're gone. The enemy has charged in. Where's my cannon? Oh, there's like no crew left, of course. Kind of a mistake there on my end. 50 men lost here. Ooh, look at that. I can see they can be... Oh, they've stopped right in front of the artillery. But I should be ready to pull these guys back. And let's see, did I have... No, I didn't have an artillery piece down there. Center one is still functioning. They kind of broke through here. Kinda-ish. I think we can tell the square to open fire. And shoot the militia units down here. And the winged hussars, yet again, I was hoping to bring them back against the enemy over here. Where are the enemy reinforcements going to come in from? We don't know as of yet. The Pardurs are doing quite a bit of damage on this unit. So we'll just move them out to go ahead and return fire. Why on earth don't you actually deploy as I want you to deploy? Thuringia Regiment is actually causing quite a bit of damage on the 69th Regiment. But otherwise it seems to be going fine all across the line. Let's see. We can get the cannon crew back on its cannon. The enemy was defeated trying to attack here. They're defeated attacking here. They're bringing up blunderbuss grenadier unit. Which, I mean, we've tested these guys out and they're not super good as an offensive unit. And that was sent away. The enemy was kind of sent away over here. The Thuringia Regiment is stuck in melee over there. These regiments should be fine. My cavalry. The winged hussars. At this point they've actually suffered quite a bit. Oh, and they've got Alt Moderna, which I guess is Italian then. So Italian heavy cuirassiers have joined in, and my guys are tired. Both sides are actually tired. Let's see if I can push through. And kind of make sure that we break up the enemy formation, but also use the fact that we outnumber them to kind of break them apart. They do have one Pardur sitting out there shooting at us. So I think we'll take the smallest of these units, which is the 42. And see if we can get that one to go out and shoot down this one. Ooh, we lost a lot firing against those Pardurs there. This one's down to 100 and 110. You can go ahead and retreat within the square. And then I want you to kind of re-establish your position. The canister being fired towards the Freikorps cavalry, which has turned up. But they get easily destroyed by our men. I guess one of the big points here is that we might run out of run out of ammo. I think we can. What I'll do is I'll try to pull this one back. And I can tell the elite foot guards here to open fire, and that will hopefully help as the enemy is now pulling in. Damn, quite a lot of them are falling as they cross over here by the volleys of the elite regiment, and then the line infantry is kind of countercharging. The enemy is wavering under the pressure. And looks like they're about to retreat. Right, the kind of won that fight. Let's see if we can save those units. Have them retreat back. Right, the enemy was forced back by... How did we lose 50 men out of this unit? Almost. I don't see how that was possible. Right, the cavalry will retire towards the other cavalry units. And it was quite obvious that these units strung out as this didn't do that much. So I think I want to pull them back a little bit. We can have a square within a square. Right, so most of the enemy units are defeated at this point. We kind of ran onto a enemy general over there. That militia unit I don't like. Howitzers, I want you to blow that guy away. You know what? I kinda want to occupy that house out there. We can see enemy reinforcements coming in over there. I kinda want to see if I can get this one over there. And then I'll take this one and put that one there. And hopefully my cavalry should have dealt with the bloody general already now. Hungarian line infantry is firing down upon us. So I'm not too happy about that, because I actually want these units to survive. All we'll do is we'll just move away. And as the enemy comes close to the cannons, they'll hopefully be killed by them. What were you firing at? Hopefully not, probably nothing good. Right, we got the Hungarians in the field. Howitzers, focusing on the Hungarians. I want you to take the warehouse. And we're about to blow these Hungarians to hell as they push forward. Setting up in the house will kind of stop the enemy out here, and I can use my artillery to effectively blast a lot of their units. Most of what I want to do with that is, there goes the enemy general, is that I want to kind of conserve maybe a little bit of ammo. Oh, these guys are wavering and tired. They're kind of far from home as they go in. Ooh, they've suffered heavily there by the Pardurs. But the warehouse is now mine. And we kind of have a strange strong point out in nowhere on the front line there. Inflicting a bit of damage on the enemy. Right, all of you should be in there. There's plenty of space. And I should also give you plenty of cover against the Pardurs. Ooh, blown some massive holes in the... Oh, there were Royal Hungarians as well. That's why they were so fancy. Royal Hungarian line. Still have some of our bloody lancers out there. So these lancers will be moved into reserve. Or maybe I should even retreat them off the field at this point, since they've lost so many men. I mean, the Royal Hungarians are firing at extreme range towards a dug-in enemy while they're under heavy artillery fire. It's certainly not going well for them. Bloody warband. I don't want to fire at the Pardurs anymore because it looks like they're gonna close in on the house. And you know what? Switch side and shoot them down before they charge in. Alright, the Austrians are coming in with more infantry, quite a lot. So militia, carbineers, lancers, and some guard lancers, and what is the other unit? Carbineers. Lots of carbineers. They've got cannons out here and lancers. Got foot line and provincial cavalry, and they're bringing in some grenadiers as well. I wonder if my cannons are able to fire all the way over there. Did they switch position in the house? No, they didn't. I want them to go into the windows on this side so they can shoot down the Pardurs, because I don't really dare switching out to send or start shooting cannon over here, because I might very well tear down the house. So far we haven't shot a single Pardur. Oh, we've got Landwehr militia now charging into the house. If they charge too many, it might be just worth it just to tear their house down. Just by opening full-fledged fire with the howitzer on it. At the same time, the enemy Albanian warband and so on is falling back. The Royal Hungarians, they're still standing out there, but I don't think they will be standing there for much longer. Might want to concentrate some fire onto them. It's not doing too well against the 110th Regiment, where the captain is standing up there on top of the defense, urging his men to push down fire on the enemy, which is now pulling back. Right, are they charging in the house? Yes, they are. And we lost the house. Which means, you know what? Round shot. And I want you guys to tear that house down. We do have a cannon here as well. Fire the shrapnel shot into the side of the building, if you please. Right, now we're getting shots landing over here. Hopefully we'll tear the house down while the enemy's in there. That was probably shrapnel that came in. Ooh, they're trying to move out. Ooh, no. I can hear their shots coming. landing close to the power doers instead. You're supposed to hit the house. How hard is it to hit the house? It looks like they're aiming for the power doers instead, because very few shots have actually hit the house. We have a single shot hitting the house, which is not that impressive. The battle has hit kind of a stalemate. I was able to kinda blow up the house, as we can see, and the 4 smaller houses around it. I think that was actually what was stopping them from firing in some weird way, so I had to tear them down, and I tore down the side of this house. Not that it did much. The enemy has just been holding on to its position for quite a while now, so I am thinking that to go ahead and actually be able to accomplish anything, we'll have to send out the cavalry and kind of attack their rear, where they hold significant... not significant, they hold a few cannons and stuff. And I think if we strike here, we might get the battle rolling again. Now, they have deployed a line in a kind of strange way against us. And you know what? What about some quicklime? Let's see what that will do to the Albanians. And one of the howitzers will fire for the militia unit, and we'll see what that does. And just so that the next brigade doesn't get snagged onto these idiots right here as they move across, I think we can very well send in at least the 2 ones that is down to 50. We'll have the 26 one moving in the back. It might be that I can send these guys away just with the artillery. Let's see, if we have that one, then the 3rd one will go for the grenadiers. I guess they're just out of musket range for these guys. We'll give them one more volley of the cannons, and then we'll send in the cavalry, kind of mopping up this side of the house, or as much as we can go. I don't know if we will be able to get all the way to the... oh, these are grenadiers? Oh, Fusilier Regiment. And the grenadiers here, so we might stop once we've gotten this militia and this guy here. Taking an awful long time for the cannons to reload. Oh, there we go. Now they're firing. So there are a bunch of obstacles that our cavalry has to pass. How did you not... oh yeah, now we go in. Right. Ooh, and it takes... I mean, the quicklime takes a lot of the enemies with it. And there... as the cannons are reloading, the cavalry will advance just to make sure that no misfires happens. These 2 will charge there, and the small one will go for the Albanians. And the enemy kind of seems to have anticipated this a little bit, or they moved in a way that the Fusiliers are lining up to shoot us down. So we'll just have the Hussars follow the Albanians. I don't think the militia is going to come back. Might be now actually that the enemy line infantry is progressing forward to attack us. The thing is, even if that is their enemy's plan, I'm still going to go ahead and charge, because there's not enough action, is there? So now these 3 will advance. There's kind of a narrow gap in between the different obstacles laid in front of us. There's some here, there's some there, and there's some there. But there is a gap about here, which we can go through and get at the rear of the enemy's formation. So the enemy is now marching up to once again assault my defensive fortifications. With the Grenadiers were broken immediately. The Fusilier is gonna stand though. The pink Fusiliers. And then we've got another line moving up here. They move it up in such a staggered way that we are able to concentrate on everything on the first one. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys to run. So we're able to concentrate so much on this one. I want you to fire canister towards the center of the enemy unit. Expatriate infantry. Fire towards the militia. Expatriate infantry. So I guess it's just some... it's supposed to be some other kind of German state troop. Okay, so the Fusiliers, the pink Fusiliers, were crushed and sent away. The enemy has opened up with the artillery against our hussar. It just bounced through the entire line here. But we'll keep going and we'll strike them beyond their heights. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit more difficult to dislodge all of these enemy infantry units that are coming forward. On these cannon fire here, if the cannons are firing. Looks like 3 cannons are firing. We've got some power doers there. These guys could definitely have enough manpower to actually be able to reach the lines. The foot infantry right here is coming really close. Same with the militia. I think we're more likely to send away the militia. So if we've got a third one ready to line up a shot into those guys, because the foot infantry is already retreating. But then again, I must not forget the winged hussars. Right, we're gonna peel some off. Royal Hungarians, and this one is gonna go for the target at hand, which is the cannons over there. 67, so they took quite a bit of damage approaching the Carbineers, which outnumber them quite a bit, but the Carbineers are wavering. Ooh, a really failed charge against the Royal Hungarians, but kind of got in there after a while. More infantry. Hungarian Grenadiers are turning up now. Royal Grenadiers, I should say. But that's not the target. The target is those cannons. The Royal Hungarians have formed square. No! Ooh, my winged hussars was killed by the counter lancer charge and all the Carbineers constantly shooting us. So it broke down those two. I think we just killed the enemy general with this charge. And we're kind of stuck in a bad position here as well, but the good thing is that we kind of got rid of the cannons, it looks like, and we got rid of their general. But it's not a great position for the Lancers, especially as the two other Lancer unit that was supposed to aid that one were defeated. Let's see. Yeah, the canister is going in. We can see the opening that's made in the expatriate infantry. And now the expatriate infantry is broken and running for the hills. Bye-bye, Austrians. Better luck in your third attempt, I guess. Ooh, a heavy charge against this unit by some line infantry from over there. Have the howitzers been firing? No, it doesn't look like it. I'll guess I'll have to give you targets then. I thought you would be picking those yourself. There we go. Now they're firing a bit. I want to see how... Ooh, now this Lancer unit is pulling away as well. Looks like it's going to survive though. It's got at least 10 units, so I think it's survivable. as it now leaves the field, it could be that that one was actually killed off. But we killed the enemy general, and hopefully we kind of kick the enemy up the rear enough for them to attack my hill more readily. Can you actually go ahead and let's blast those 2 squares? And I think with the what's it called, quick climb, there's not going to be a lot left of those square. You won't kind of see that. The light infantry is pulling back. Or the line infantry, I thought it was light. I want to see when this square gets utterly trashed by the quick climb. Okay, so some quick climb shots are going in over there. Should hopefully mean that there are quick climb in the ready to be fired on this one. They broke their square, so unfortunately we're not gonna get 2 squares utterly destroyed. We got quick climb hitting over there, we got quick climb hitting over there, but none against this square. And now I can't see the howitzer anymore, so I can't actually select them. Okay, I guess you picked your own bloody damn targets then. I want everyone then to destroy that one. They fired on everything but the one target that would actually do... You know, this would... I mean, I'm firing all the cannons at this one, so it should completely annihilating it. There should be nothing left. There is that cannon over there firing canister. Could turn it a little bit more towards here. What are my howitzers doing? Oh, now they're firing. But he kind of fired in a weird way. He fired over there. I've specifically ordered the howitzers to fire on the square. What on earth are you idiots doing? Oh yes, fire over there. God. Empire. What a mess. Right, now do as I say. Okay, now they're turning. Hopefully we got a few loaded already. Yes, we do. Ooh, we don't want to miss this. Where did the shot... There we go. I was wondering. Where did the shots go? So that took out about half the unit. And that was just one shot. Imagine if the other cannons had actually done what I told them to do. Then we would have this unit utterly destroyed. But I guess that's not what they want to do. Right, there's no point since he's retreating at this point. Switch to explosives so I can actually see where your idiots are firing. I don't really like the fact that they're not sending in that many troops. I mean, they decided to attack me or intercept me, but then it's not like they're going balls to the wall trying to dislodge me. And I think with this is going to be kind of pitiful amount of casualties. I mean, there are quite a lot here, but not to the amount which I thought. There's going to be this massive attack where we would maybe utilize all 3 defenses or maybe pull back and so forth, and then having to send in all the heavy cavalry and so forth. I'm gonna send you guys away. But no, we just get this kind of trickle of Austrians moving forward to attack us. I guess the downside with having such massive howitzers is that it takes so long to reload them. It might have been better to have a smaller caliber because it's going to be quicker to reload. And it might also be that smaller howitzers aren't utterly stupid and would actually fire when I tell them to fire. They're closing in, trying, I guess, to force their way over our defenses, but no, they hold. I wish I had some hussars or something to ride them down. I mean, I do have hussars, but I mean like a light hussar. Like a hussar, not a winged hussar. Guerrilla mercenaries. Kind of annoying bastards. I'll move my men forward to delete them. I guess since the enemy doesn't want to come to us in any major way, we will come to them. The line infantry will hold. I will use the line infantry guard. We'll move up. And we'll delete their marines, which are moving up. We'll delete the rest of them. I'll be ready with the hussars to follow up this advance. Ooh, we got some cannon shots that bounced through here. Pretty nasty. Oh, forgot to select the center one. Great. Lucky for me, they ended up just in the right position, the line infantry guard. And they might very well be able to fire before the enemy closes into melee or fire first. Now the Carbineers obviously managed to fire, but they're cavalry, so they shoot and scoot. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be melee over there. Or no, not at all. Oh, there we go. But it immediately goes to the enemy routing. I think we might have not moved far enough, so we're still within the range, musket range of the main line, which is going to cause casualties on the foot guards. Well, we're breaking these. There's quite an assortment of enemy units coming in there, so we want to break those guys away. Out of shot. Switch units there. So here we go. Here's a bit of action. We've got 3 enemy units marching into artillery fire. 4 enemy units artillery fire and volleys by the foot guards. And it looks like the enemy is gonna charge in the center. They're sending forwards their expatriate infantry. They're actually stopping to fire them. They kind of like a fire in advance kind of deal. Ooh, they're gonna stop right there. Oh, just up. They retreated just before we were able to shoot. But we would have shot them just as they came in like point blank range. The howitzers should focus in on this unit instead, the Hungarian Grenadiers. Nothing over there anymore. We've got 1 guerrilla mercenary. Let's continue with this, but I think we'll prepare by already be aiming for units out there. It's a lot of militia units, which certainly isn't gonna help the Austrians. We'll turn to face the enemy, and then these 3 will advance to hold up this one. And this one will hold fire as it will shoot friendlies in the rear. You will fire shrapnel over our heads onto the enemy. And we do have quite a bit of enemy units coming forwards. It's going to be just cavalry left in the enemy army because they're keeping their cavalry in reserve while they're sending forwards their infantry. The Pardurs are actually pretty skillful, but when you read about them on Wikipedia, it seemed more like a ragtag band of soldiers with just carrying pistols that you would put on kind of guard duty to guard camps and stuff. Not something you would, not something that would be like a super well, really good skirmish unit. Lots of militia after militia. Which I wonder, I mean, how useful do the Austrians think the militia are? Now they can obviously produce a lot of them. But against foot guards, not gonna do so well, are they? And they're slowly advancing into our fire. Are they stopping to fire now? Or what are they doing? They're slowly just advancing here. Steady pace. As they don't want to get unorganized, I should say. Lines are being blown up. Oh, the captain is still there with his pontoon. And now the men ran away from him. Wait a minute, come back here, you stupid militia! I did not order you to retreat. Sounded like he got hit. Come back here! Rally to me, you bastards! The thing is, I really don't want to charge up my hussars any further because we saw what happened when they went in here. I guess if I sent everything. Swiss guards are coming in now. Followed by more militia. But at least the Swiss guard would put up quite the fight. And the Pardurs. Okay, we've got quite the militia in the forest. Oh, these two are out of ammo. So they will charge the forest. While you will move into the flank. Foot guards have plenty of ammo. Force the militia out of that forest. And the enemy regroups just before the charge. So they're not able to actually inflict damage on us and cause confusion as we charge. Instead they caused confusion with their own lines. And both units were broken within no time. And sent off the field. But now the Swiss Guard and other units are coming up, so I'm thinking we're actually gonna skedaddle from this bit. What we could do is have this one sit behind the wall while these guys fall back. We'll regroup these lines to be facing the enemy, which seems to be coming towards kind of across here. So we'll redraw the line there. The howitzers hold fire. I think I can have the howitzers actually deal some damage to the enemy cavalry if I select round shot. But I think we'll just have them fire at will with explosive shots, which could very well mean that they're shooting for the bodyguard, which wouldn't be that good. Ooh, what are they shooting at? Yes, they are. However, they were skillful enough to miss our own men. The militia unit. Their cavalry is advancing. So now we actually got something of an attack going on against us. I'm gonna tell some of these units to hold fire so we don't shoot our own men in the back. This one can actually fire at will. But none of these. The enemy general was sent back. The foot infantry hiding behind the wall has been outflanked by the Pardurs, and they're gonna be just turned up by flank fire. So they need to pull back immediately. Enemy lancers are making a charge for our exposed flank here. Form into square. Thing is, they're charging straight onto prepared defensive positions like that. Okay, I think with like 7 minutes left, it's time for us to send in the winged hussars and send the enemy away. So they're charging the foot guards, but it's all militia. These guys are being chased down by a massive amount of militia and other groups of Austrians coming in. Right, turn through the field and then sweep away what's here. I wonder how many enemy troops we will have killed, because it can be nowhere near what we might be hoping for, which would be an excess of at least... I mean, if I had my way, we'd probably see 15,000 enemies killed. But given how few enemies... Oh, the bastards are hiding just in among the spikes. So I'm gonna avoid charging them. Ooh, they took quite the beating there, fired into the flank. Shoot these guys in the rear. I think we'll have the foot guards retreat back. Oh, and yes, why don't you stop right in front of the enemy? Ooh, they took massive amounts of casualties, the ones that rode past the Vied regiment. But we were able to crush these. And we'll go through and crush the rest. And even the Swiss. Let's see, are the Swiss able to fire before? No. The Hussars strike before that. But the Hussars could definitely need aid. Striking down the Swiss. Oh, the Weird regiment, Weird regiment moved out of its defensive position. The Lancers will arrange themselves on the hill. These guys will continue on into the Swiss Guard. There's another Swiss Grenadier unit coming down. I don't know if these guys anticipated the charge because they're moving away. Or maybe it's this unit they're looking at. That was a pretty dangerous unit, so I want you guys to blow it away. Have the Lancers push through, and that way crush the Swiss Guard. Kind of break their cohesion. And there they're broken. Okay, the Weird regiment, Vied regiment is out in the open. Let's charge him down. Oh, there's another one coming in there. Hold. We'll just send one then. And then the howitzers will hold fire because I don't want them shooting our own as it approach. And and we were done with the enemy over there. There is 3 minutes left for the enemy to win this fight. We were hit in the side by the Swiss Grenadiers. But we turned up the flank on this unit, and he's definitely not doing too well. And then pile on by having the other Hussar unit coming in attacking from the rear. Hopefully before the Swiss Guard, oh, it's the Grenadiers as well, will open fire onto our Lancers. These guys will also be cut up from the flank. They're wavering and they're tired. They didn't lose that many in the charge though. The charges are not as powerful as in Napoleon, which is kind of sad that you don't get that kind of shock going in. And as soon as these guys are broken down, then these two can obviously go ahead and aid the Lancers over here to deal with that one. And now these Lancers will take down the Deutschmeisters. They keep sending forwards these regiments. It seems like the better regiments are turning up now. Austrian-Hungarian militia. Hungarian militia, I guess. Moving forward. Right, the enemy was broken over there. Definitely need some aid. Destroying the Swiss. And then we've got a charge going in here. However, the Deutschmeisters are pushing down a lot of fire on my Lancers. Usually what I kind of do against the enemy cavalry. Okay, the Swiss Grenadiers are wavering. They're shattered. I don't want to face that one again in open field. So cut them all down, if you please. And with that, there's 1 minute left. I can't get through and get these other because the spikes are in the way. So we'll have to retire. Hopefully before we lose too many men. I mean, it was a bloody battle for both sides, but the enemy definitely lost more men. Hopefully we can break this one as well. The Deutschmeisters, but I don't think so. Only about 60 men were killed out of this unit. We're down to 35 seconds left. And we're about to get hit by Halder Regiment and militia. Let's see if we can push through this, as it's 14 seconds left. And now, kind of, yes, there we go. Shattered the enemy. That's gonna give a lot of chevrons, that's for sure. And 0 seconds left. The battle is... Wait, valiant defeat? How is this valiant defeat when they intercepted me? Or was it me that intercepted them? I'm pretty sure it was them that intercepted me, right? How is this valiant defeat for me then? Surprising. Definitely would have chosen a completely different strategy if I know that, but let's hope the armies are not crushed by this. Let's go back to the campaign map, shall we? Here we have the results. So out of our 11,000 men army strong, we lost 3,500. However, the enemy out of their 17,000 lost 10,000. But as we look at the remaining soldiers, we can see that our forces are quite equal. But we have reduced the enemy, so the enemy had an advantage of 6,000 men. Now we have an advantage of 1,000 men. So kind of a big difference there. We can see line infantry is actually the ones... I guess these are the guys on the front line that did the most. Lots of chevrons being gained. If we go back here, can I see if a hussar unit was killed? I would see if there's one, like, on... Yeah, one hussar unit seemed to have been killed. Quite a lot of them and lost a lot of manpower as well. Okay, so our troops were pushed back, even though they were the ones that actually lost the battle, because they weren't able to send us off the hill, and if you look at the forces, they're really broken up. So this one, it's kind of interesting how this one retreats to the fort when he actually started off here, and this one, which actually started off in the fort, retreats down here. Set into... Oh no, wait! This is fully replenished, isn't it? Or this is... Like, I can't see that there's room for another unit. Let's just quickly check somewhere where I can recruit the Lancer. Damn it, I'm recruiting troops everywhere. Here then. Are there Lancers being able to... for recruitments? Not that I can see, but it should be seen better in the capital. Oh yeah, there we go. So two actually, two Lancer units. Don't care about the rockets. I want to resupply the Lancers. Right, so a real long battle. I'm not entirely sure I'll cut that together. But another strike on these bastards, and we could definitely see an absolute destruction of them. They still had about something units that they didn't actually use. They won't be able to conduct any... I mean, they could go ahead and attack us and lay siege. But yeah, anyways, now is the time for me to end turn, and that will kind of show where the enemy attack. Mostly the Hanoverians, which have possibility to attack. And then maybe a lot of sieges might they try to break the siege or break out of the siege and destroy our army. Most likely at Klausenberg. But with that said, I'm gonna end the video right here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I see you guys for the next one. Bye.